Wouldn't it be great if you could delegate all your boring tasks to robots sometimes? While you're busy with other stuff, they take care of your business. And imagine if they could communicate with each other and even hand over tasks if they don't know how to do it themselves. Imagine what a world that would be.
Hey everyone, Sal here from Time Savers. Turns out that delegating things to devices has been around for a while. I don't mean humanoid robots, although that would be cool. No, I am talking about automations on your computer. So while unfortunately my vacuum cleaning bot won't make me coffee anytime soon, a lot of the apps on my computer and mobile devices are actually capable of taking over a lot of tasks for me. Now you might be asking, hey Sal, how can an app possibly run tasks for me, let alone communicate with my apps? This is exactly what we're going to find out in this episode of Time Savers. Automations have been around for a while. They are like virtual assistants on steroids, like magic minions that want to serve you, like an army of bots at your service, like, well, you get the point. To use an automation, you first have to set it up. Basically, you have to tell the bots what they should do. This can be something very simple, like converting a media file from one format to another, or it can be something super complex, involving hundreds of steps and actions. Okay, don't worry about the details for now. In fact, in this video I'm going to show you a few very simple examples of what automations can do on a couple different platforms. We'll look at free automations that come with Apple's devices, but also at Microsoft's Flow application and a few online automators, such as If This Then That, Zapier and Automator. Once you understand the power of automations and how much time they can save you, I'm sure you won't be able to live without them. Okay, so let's start with a simple task. Let's say that you want to convert a Jpeg into a PDF file. What you'd traditionally do is to open the file with a program and then go to the menu and look for a command to save or export it as a PDF. It's a trivial task and it just takes a few clicks. But what if you could do it without any clicks at all? Maybe we can use the power of automations. Aha! This sounds like a job for Automator! Automator is a program that ships with every Mac, but not everyone knows about it. It allows you to use recipes, not that kind of recipe. Adding together actions for the thing that you want your computer to do for you. So let's look at the ingredients we need to create this tasty automation. First, I'll open Automator and we immediately see different options, but for this example I just select the folder actions. Again, don't worry about the details for now, we'll get into them in future videos. First, I'll have to create a new folder on the desktop. Because I'll have to tell Automator that I want this folder to be able to automate stuff. Now I can select from a list of actions here on the left side, and since I want the folder to transform any image I put into there into a PDF, I just drag that into the right area, like so, and connect that action to the folder. Then I save this quick automation and close Automator. So let's take a look at this folder. It's empty. It looks like a normal folder, but this one is a very different kind of folder. Okay, I need an image now. For this example, I just create a quick screenshot of my desktop, and as you can see, it's a PNG file that gets saved on my computer desktop. Here it comes. If I drag this image into this special folder I just created, what happens is that in the background there is an automation running which magically turns my PNG file into a PDF file. Voila! No clicks needed. Now this might not look that impressive, but consider that this folder could do much more complex stuff. I could even receive files coming in from another automation and then send the transformed file to another different automation. I think you might start to see the power of automations and connecting actions with one another. Alright, next I want to show you a platform called Automator. Before I do that, a quick side note. I want to show you an app I currently use to track how much time I spent on my projects called Toggle. As you can see, Toggle allows me to add a description of the task I'm working on among many other options which we won't get into now. And then start a timer to track my time. Okay, now back to Automator. I've already connected a few of my apps with this service, including Toggle. Basically, we can tell Automator.io which apps I want to use in my automation, and each app will have a different set of actions that become available and that define how they can talk with other apps. Here, to create an automation, I can click on Create a Bot. I select Toggle and tell it to start the automation every time a new timer is started in the application. The bot will then take this information and send it to an email address that I define. As you can see, I can actually retrieve information from Toggle, such as the name of the task I'm working on and when the timer started, which I can dynamically include in an email. This could be useful if you wanted to automatically message your colleagues or boss when you are starting to work on a certain project. Okay, let's test it. I will manually start a timer and then it should send me an email. So let me get to the email, and yep, it seems to work. I received an email that was automatically produced when I started my timer, and the information on it seems to be correct. You may notice that the date and time seem a bit off, but there are ways to tell Automator.io to transform this in a more beautiful way. Another platform that is great for automating tasks is called Zapier. Let's switch to their website and see how you can automate tasks there. Like in Automator.io, you can connect apps here as well. In this example, I decided that I want to keep track of how often I post on Instagram and automatically add it to my Google Calendar. Again, I can connect my app that triggers the automation, in this case Instagram, and once I did that, I can connect my second app, in this case Google Calendar, which will be able to receive data from Instagram. I can easily test if this connection works, and if I want to, I can just activate this automation, here they call it a zap, and then my Instagram and my Google Calendar start talking to each other. And instead of me manually keeping track of this, Instagram will call up its buddy Google Calendar and tell it, or him, or her. It's so confusing. Anyway, the event will be created automatically. Sweet! Okay, let's now see how we can automate something with Microsoft's Flow, or actually Microsoft decided to call it Power Automate now. I won't go into details, but as you'll see, it's actually very similar here. In this example, I want the automation to keep track of my tasks in Microsoft's To-Do, and every time a new task is added, I want to send it to a channel in my Microsoft Teams app so that everyone who is on that same channel, that can be your colleagues, your boss, or anybody working on the same project, will be notified. It's pretty much the same if you're working with Slack, which is probably still the most popular teamwork app. By now you should start to see a pattern here. Pretty much the same principle applies to If This Then That, a free platform for automations on the web and actually a great platform to start playing around with automations. There are tons of apps that can communicate with each other and allow you to process tasks on your behalf. Of course, I couldn't finish this episode without mentioning Apple's Shortcuts, a fantastic app that comes pre-installed on any iOS device and that allows you to create smart shortcuts and automations, and I'm sure that in future videos we'll look into all the awesome stuff you can do with each of these automators in greater detail. It's good to know that automations aren't only limited to two apps talking to one another, but you can also connect multiple apps and services and combine them into complex workflows. For some of these automations, you don't even have to sit at the computer. You can even create time-based triggers that run automatically at a certain time of the day or that constantly observe a certain file or folder and react when something changes. Really, we're not even starting to scratch at the surface here. So after watching this, do you think you will be using automations in the future? Maybe you're already using automations and would like to see some more detailed workflows in the future. No matter what you think, the good and the bad, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and to click on the bell to be notified about new videos I release. Also, don't miss the opportunity to check out my free guide to optimizing time. You can download it from my website paycell.net/timesavers. It's 100% free and it contains some of my favorite apps and methods to be as productive as possible and to make the time I spend on the computer as meaningful as possible. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Time Savers. See you next Friday. Let's go save some time.